السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. حبايبي الصغيرين جريد 4 عاملين ايه؟ يا رب تكونوا كلكم بخير. النهاردة ان شاء الله مع بعض هنراجع شيتات الوزارة للجزء اللي داخل في امتحان شهر اكتوبر، وان شاء الله كلكم تجيبوا الفول مارك وتطلعوا من الاوائل. First of all, we have to say that there are some instructions that you have to follow them to get the full mark, which are number one, read the question carefully. You have to read the question carefully. 50% of getting the full mark is from reading the question carefully. Specifically, if you answer choice question, so you have to read the question and also 4 choices carefully. Number two, if you are answering a scientific term, you have to search for keyword. You have to search for the keyword. As adaptation, we have 3 keywords like characteristics, survive, and reproduce. If we are talking about camouflage, so you have to search for hide or blend in, and so on. And of course, give reason. It means why that happens, and what happens if, what will happen, إيه اللي هيحصل لو حصل كذا كذا. So خلينا نقول بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ونبدأ زي ما احنا متعودين. معانا هنا أول شيت بيقول لي write the scientific term. Characteristics that help living organisms survive and reproduce in the ecosystem. ده سؤال scientific term، فأنا المفروض I have to search for keywords. So we have here characteristics, survive, and reproduce. So this definition for adaptation. طيب give reasons. Fennec fox has a sandy colored fur. احنا أخدنا قبل كده it has sandy colored fur to hide among the sand أو to blend in among the sand. طب what happens if the panther chameleon haven't V-shaped feet؟ افتكر مع نفسك كده، هي كانت ايه أهمية ال V-shaped feet للبانثر chameleon؟ To hold branches of trees tightly. طب if it doesn't have any V-shaped feet, so it cannot hold the branches tightly. بس كده بالبساطة دي. طيب determine the type of adaptation in the following. هنا بيسألني بيقولي على حاجة وأنا المفروض أحدد if is structural or behavioral. So the question here is about thick white fur in the polar bear. Is it a part of its body? Yes, of course. So it's related to which type of adaptation? Structural adaptation. برافو. طيب give one example of the following. Behavioral adaptation of living organisms. طبعا ما فيش أكتر منها. عندي مثلا إن الفينيك فوكس lives in barrows in summer days. عندي مثلا ايه تاني؟ who can tell me؟ قلنا مثلا البانثر chameleon buffs its body up if it feels danger. It opens its mouth wide. It changes its color. Also we said some behavioral adaptation for the bull shark. Okay, so we need only one example of the following behavioral adaptation. So we can say panting of fennec fox. Panting of fennec fox. Time. Sheet number 2. Write the scientific term. A type of adaptation that helps the animals to hide from a predator or sneak its prey. So hide here, it means we have a keyword hide or blend in. So the definition is for camouflage. Type give reasons. Penguin covered with dense feathers. Why penguins from outside or its body covered with dense feathers? To feel warm or to keep its body warm. Now, what happens if the living organisms cannot adapt to their ecosystem? What will happen? They cannot reproduce and they cannot survive. So they will die and they cannot reproduce. Again, determine the type of adaptation for fennec fox lives in barrows. We said it before, it's a behavioral adaptation. Give an example for the following structural adaptation of living organisms. Structural adaptation of living organisms. Extra large ears of fennec fox, sandy colored fur of caracal cat and fennec fox, a counter shading of bull shark. It has dark back and white belly, white thick fur of polar bear, dense feathers of penguin. What else? Panther chameleon has colorful scales. Its eyes move in two opposite directions, one of them to search for food and the another one to protect itself from danger. So we have a lot of structural adaptation. And we need only one example, so we can say brown fur of brown bear. Brown fur of brown bear. Test number 3. Write the scientific term. Change in the structure of the animal's body. We said before, when I see change, it means it's one of adaptation, one type of adaptation. So which type of adaptation? Is it structural or behavioral? Yes, of course, it will be structural. Why? Because we have a change in the structure as a keyword. So this definition related to structural adaptation. Give reason for why fennec fox has extra large ears. Who can tell me? Bravo! To cool its body, to lose extra heat. Excellent. Type. What happens if the Arctic fox doesn't have thick white fur? What will happen? What do you think? When this fox lives in tundra desert, which has a temperature 50 degrees Celsius below zero during the winter, if this fox doesn't have any thick white fur, it cannot survive, of course. It cannot survive in this cold weather, or it cannot blend in with the ice. So it cannot survive anyways. Determine the type of adaptation in the following. Bull shark hunts in the day as well as at night. What do you think? Is it structural or behavioral? Perfect. It's a behavioral adaptation. Why? Because it's an action. It's a behavior. Give an example of the following. The animals that enable to hide in their environment. We have caracal cat. We have fennec fox. Both of them have sandy-colored fur. We have polar bear, which has white fur to hide among the ice. We have brown bear, which has brown fur to hide among trees in forests, and so on. So we need here only one example, like caracal cat. Okay, here we have choose a question. So we have to read the question carefully, and we have to read also 4 choices. So the first question is, polar bears have a white fur. Why? To live in desert, or to see in the dark, or to hide from predator or their prey? Of course, to hide from predator or prey. Type number 2. Penguins' feet worms due to the fats, feathers, or blood vessels. Of course, blood vessels. And don't forget that we said before, penguins' feet have blood vessels which weave around each other, which mean rotate around each other. Number 3, panther chameleon changes its color to blend in with surrounding environment. Is known as echolocation, respiration, or camouflage. Of course, it's a camouflage, to hide or to blend in with environment. Bull sharks can survive or live in fresh water only, salt water only, or both fresh and salt water. So both fresh and salt water. We said before, its body structure can survive in 2 types of water. Number 5, in penguin's body, dense feathers and thick layer of fat help penguin to be warm. From the example of behavioral adaptation in panther chameleons is So here we have to read the three choices carefully. Puffs up its body in danger, having long and sticky tongue, having V-shaped feet. You have to know grade 4 that long and sticky tongue, V-shaped feet, both of them are parts of the body of panther chameleon. So the correct answer here is puff up its body in danger. It's an action, by the way. Number 2, determine the type of adaptation in the following. Is it structural or behavioral? So number 1, panther chameleons have V-shaped feet. What do you think? It's a part of its body, so of course it will be structural adaptation. Fennec fox lives in burrows to stay cool. It's an action, perfect, so it will be behavioral. The thick white fur in polar bears. Structural adaptation. Panther chameleon puffs up its body to look danger or to look scary. Behavioral adaptation. It's an action. Type another sheet. The thick white fur is a type of adaptation in. What do you think? Panther chameleon, polar bear, or fennec fox? أيوة سامعاك أنت بتقول كده الفينيك فوكس عنده fur بس not color, not white color, sandy colored. So the correct answer here it will be polar bear. Type number 2, fennec fox has A, to enable blending in the desert. Fennec fox has a sandy colored fur. Exactly. Fennec fox has sandy colored fur. طيب adaptations help living organisms زي ما اتفقنا to survive and reproduce. Don't forget. Camouflage means that organism difficult to be seen. Camouflage means that organism what? Difficult to be seen. Difficult to be seen. The penguin's feet be warm due to the movement of blood in blood vessels. Okay, due to what? The movement of blood in blood vessels. Put true or false. The body of penguin is covered by dense fur in order to be warm. Fur? What do you think? Penguin's body has fur or feathers? Feathers, so it will be wrong. False. Penguin's feet don't freeze due to the thick layer of fat. No. They don't freeze due to the presence of blood vessels, so it will be false also. Camouflage helps animals hunting their prey. Yes, of course. What happens if the living organisms cannot adapt with environmental or ecosystem change? What happens if living organisms cannot adapt with environmental or ecosystem change? They cannot reproduce and they will die. Fennec fox has short ears. It cannot cool its body or cannot lose extra heat. So it cannot survive in the hot weather. Type Berberry fig has to prevent animals to eat it. Of course it has sharp spines. Long roots in acacia tree is considered as, we asking here about roots, which are parts of the structure of the tree, so it will be structural adaptation. Which tree grow in the desert? Of course, palm tree. An organ which mixing food with saliva and crush it with teeth is mouth. An organ that stores undigested food and expels it out from the body is large intestine. It stores undigested food. Remember, undigested food, so large intestine. Type. Complete the following sentences. An organ that pushes the food to the stomach is push the food. There is a long tube that pushes the food down into the stomach. Help us to swallow. Esophagus. The muscles that help in respiration process. The muscles that found at the end of respiratory system that contract and relax in respiration process. Diaphragm. Type. Put true or false. Exhaled air contains more oxygen gas. قلنا قبل كده exhaled بدأ EX يعني exit outside of the body. So we're talking about carbon dioxide gas, not oxygen gas. So it will be wrong. The living organism depends on food to get energy. Yes, of course. Buttress root of the cubic tree grow upward. Yes, true. The leaves in which a tree changed into needle to prevent it from losing water. Pine tree. It has triangle shape, by the way. Producing poison in acacia tree is considered as an action, so it's considered as behavioral adaptation. Which tree grows in salt water? And it's an important question, by the way. Which tree grows in salt water? Mangrove tree. Digestive system starts with mouth. Carbon dioxide gas is harmful or useful material? What do you think? Or useful gas? Harmful gas. So we have to get rid of it. Type right the scientific term. A process in which the lungs expand and fill with air. خد نفس كده دلوقتي وانت بتسمع الفيديو. Your two lungs filled with air. So you take oxygen gas. So which process here? Inhalation. The system responsible for get rid of harmful air from the body. Which system? Respiratory system. Exactly. The organs that work together. When we have organs work together to perform a specific function, this is called system. This is called what? System. What happens in the following cases if humans don't chew the food? What do you think? What will happen? Food will not be digested and he cannot get energy from the food. Simply, if you stop breathing for a long time, you will die. Type. Write what the following sentence refers to. Something like scientific term. Trees that grow in Amazon rainforest. Which tree? We studied together two trees, acacia tree and cubic tree. By the way, two main trees. In addition to palm tree, pine tree, mangrove tree. Which one of them grows in Amazon rainforest? Cubic tree, perfect. Acacia tree grows in savanna, so don't forget. Give reasons. Palm trees have long and strong roots. Why? To resist the strong wind. Bravo. Type. Give reasons. Animals don't eat acacia tree leaves. Why animals don't eat acacia tree leaves? Because it has spines and produces poison, which makes the taste of its leaves very bad. What happens if plants was transferred from one environment to another? It has to adapt or it will die. It has to adapt or it will die. Give me an example for structural adaptation in water lilies. ونشغل حاجة واحدة بس عن water lilies إن هي they have large wide leaves. They have what? Large wide leaves floating on the water surface. Floating on the water surface. Why? To absorb sunlight energy. طيب الشيت اللي بعده. Write what the following sentence refers to. A tree that can live, survive, and securely in water. Which tree can grow in salt water? Mangrove tree. Mangrove tree. Give reason why Barbary fig has spiny leaves. Why Barbary fig has spiny leaves? To prevent animals from eating its leaves. Type. Why cubic trees stay upright in soggy soil? Why cubic trees stay upright in soggy soil? Because it has buttress roots which are large and wide. Because it has buttress roots which are large and wide. What happens if palm trees have not thick and strong roots? It will fall, or it cannot resist strong wind. Cannot resist what? Strong wind. Give me an example for behavioral adaptation in acacia trees. They produce poison, or they send the smelly messages to warn other trees. They send smelly messages to warn other trees. طيب, write what the following sentence refers to. A tree lives in savannah. هنا المرة دي بقى ما قالش Amazon, قال savannah. So it will be acacia tree. Why water lilies have wide leaves? To absorb sunlight energy. To absorb a large amount of sunlight energy. Don't forget, it's a very important question. Give reasons. Pine tree has a triangle shape. Pine tree has triangular shape. Why? What do you think why? To fall the snow down and not to fall the snow down without breaking the branch. To fall the snow down without breaking the branch. What happens if acacia trees don't produce a poison? The animals will eat its leaves. Basically, animals will eat its leaves. Give me an example for behavioral adaptation in kapok trees. Attract bats by delicious smelly flowers. Type, complete the following sentence. The oxygen gas is expelled during the process of oxygen gas is expelled. أنا بقول expelled يعني getting outside, يعني exit from the body. وطبعا بالنسبة لنا احنا we getting outside which gas? Carbon dioxide gas. طب يعني ايه oxygen gas expelled during the process of a photosynthesis process? This process is very important for plants only because through which they can make their own food. And after finishing photosynthesis process, it produces oxygen gas. Right, the scientific term. The system that digests food and get benefit from the food. Digestive system, bravo. Scientific term also. The process of pushing air in and out of the body. Bravo, respiration process or breathing. Respiration process or breathing. Give reasons. Diaphragm is very important muscle in respiration because it contracts and relaxes during breathing to move the air. Because it contracts and relaxes during what? Breathing to move the air. What happens if saliva not secretes in mouth? The food will be dry and not be digested. The food will not be moistened and it will be hard to chew, hard to swallow. Type, complete the following sentence. Oxygen gas enters the lungs during the process of, طالما قلت enter يعني inside the body, it will be inhalation process. It will be what? Inhalation process. It will be what? Inhalation process. Type, write the scientific term. The change of food from complex form to a simple one. Digestion process. It will be what? Digestion process. So, write what the following sentence refers to. Muscle that playing an important role in respiration process? Yes, of course. Diaphragm. It will be what? Diaphragm. Give reason. Saliva is very important in digestion process. Why? Who can tell me? Because it moistens food and begin to break it down. Moisten food and begin to break it down. What happens if there are no large intestines in the digestive system? So the water cannot be absorbed from the undigested food. طيب, next sheet we have here complete. So the bronchi ends with little sacs called alveoli. Alveoli. Could you repeat it again? Alveoli. طيب, write the scientific term. The system that helps air to move into and out of the body. Which system? لسه حلينها few moments ago. Respiratory system. Bravo. An organ in the digestive system which the digestion process is starting with. Mouth. Exactly. Type. Give reason why the two lungs are very important in respiration. Because they have alveoli which help the oxygen gas to move into the blood. Again, because they have alveoli, little sacs, which are known as alveoli, help the oxygen gas to move into the blood. What happens is there is no diaphragm in the respiratory system. Lungs cannot exhale or inhale. Two lungs cannot exhale or inhale. Exhale or inhale. Type. Fish breathe which gas? Oxygen gas. By they breathe by two lungs or gills? Bravo عليكم, by gills. Type number 2. Destroys the two lungs and causes many diseases. Pollution. Pollution. Such as air pollution. The gills are located on both sides of the head of the fish. Gills are located on both sides of the head of the fish. Gills are considered as one of the structural adaptations. One of the structural adaptations. In fish, which one carry oxygen gas to the rest of the body? Blood vessels. Bravo. True or false, burning forests is one of the positive human activities on the environment? Of course not. It's one of the negative human activities. It leads to air pollution and many diseases. The ecosystem can be restored by eliminating pollution. Eliminating it means reduce pollution, decrease pollution, or removing, get rid of. So, of course, that's right. The body of amphibians is covered with a skin that allows water and gas to pass through. True. Amphibians like golden frog, frogs, toads, and salamander. The Egyptian frog lives in ponds and streams. Yes, true. Fish breathes through the lungs. Yes. No. Yes, he asking here about fish. Fish breathes through gills. Through what gills? Which found on both sides of the head. The leaves in a tree changed into needle by tree. Bravo. Producing poison in acacia tree considered as behavioral adaptation. Excellent. Which tree grows in salt water? Mangrove. Digestive system starts with mouth. Carbon dioxide gas is harmful gas, of course. طيب, في أسئلة هي عمالة بتتكرر وفي الإعادة إفادة. A process in which the lungs expand and fill with air. Fill with air. لسه حلينها. Inhalation. Bravo. Inhalation process. The system responsible for get rid of harmful air. طالما قال لي air يبقى على طول respiratory system. طيب, organs that work together to perform a specific function. System. Bravo. What happens in the following cases? If humans don't chew the food, only the food cannot be digested and it will be very hard to swallow and it will be dry. And of course, I'm so sorry. He asking here about if the human don't chew the food. Yes. I said the correct answer, and also we can add this answer, which the digestive system is harmed and cannot get nutrients. Type. If you stop breathing for a long time, you will die. مش محتاج كلام. Type. Trees grow in Amazon rainforest. طالما قلنا Amazon يبقى أنا بتكلم عن الكيبوك tree. Palm trees have long and strong roots to resist the strong wind. Bravo. Animals do not eat acacia tree leaves because it produces poison and also it has spines on its branches. What happens if plant was transferred from one environment to another? It has to adapt or it will die. Give me an example for structural adaptation in water lilies. لسه قايلينها large white floating leaves. Large and white floating leaves. طيب, a tree that can survive in water. قلنا ايه? Mangrove tree. Barbary fig has spiny leaves. Why? To prevent animals from eating its leaves and its fruits also. Give reason why kibik trees stay upright in soggy soil, because kibik tree has buttress root, which is very large and wide. طيب, what happens if palm trees have not thick and strong roots? What happens if palm trees have not thick and strong roots? It cannot resist the strong wind and it will be broken. Now give me one example of the following. Behavioral adaptation in acacia trees produces a poison to make its leaves have bad taste. Produce poison. Okay, so we have here a repeated question. What about give reason? The pine tree has a triangular shape. قلنا ايه? To fall the snow easily, to allow the snow slides easily down and without any damage for its branches. Acacia trees don't produce a poison. Animals can eat its leaves easily. One example of behavioral adaptation in kibik tree, we said it before, it attracts bats through a delicious smelling flowers. Type, complete the following. We said the oxygen is expelled during the process of photosynthesis. The system that digests food and get benefit from the food, it will be digestive system. The process of pushing air in and out of the body, it will be respiration process, breathing or respiration process. Diaphragm is very important because it contracts during inhalation and relaxes during exhalation. Type, saliva not secretes in mouth. Only the food will be hard to swallow and it will be dry without any digestion. Oxygen enters the lungs during the process of inhalation. Type, it changes food from complex form to a simple form. It's called the digestion process. Digestion process. Write what the following sentence refers to. Muscle that playing an important role in respiration process. Muscle at the end of system, diaphragm. Diaphragm. Okay. So these questions, we said it before. As this also. Okay, here constitute senses at work. Dolphins have a stronger sense of hearing than humans. Yes, correct, it has super sense. Bats rely on echolocation to find food. Of course, yes. The spinal cord is the main control center in the human body. No, that's wrong. أول ما أشوف main control center يبقى على طول وأنا مغمض brain. That's brain. We can differentiate between hot and cold objects using digestive system. No, using nervous system. Animals that are active at night called nocturnal animals. Yes, right, that's correct. The main control center of the body is brain, as we said it a few moments ago. Echolocation helps dolphins identify location of its prey. Type, feeling hot or cold depends on sensory receptors in which organ? In skin. Type, give reasons why bats can locate their prey in the dark. Because they use echolocation property. Because they use echolocation property. Type, give reason. The Egyptian mangoes make sounds. The Egyptian mangoes makes sounds. Why? To communicate with another mongoose. To communicate with another mongooses. Type, we have your match, and we said before we have to read each column carefully. So we have here brain, spinal cord, nerves, and we have here carry messages from the brain to the spinal cord, main control center, big nerves that runs through the backbone. طالما قلت main control center يبقى على طول brain، يبقى 1 مع B. spinal cord طالما قلت through the backbone و big nerve يبقى أنا بتكلم عن spinal cord، يبقى 2 مع C. هيبقى لي واحدة هتبقى إيه؟ بس. Of course nerves carry messages. Type, the property by which dolphins and bats can locate their prey, echolocation. Echolocation. Animals those are active at night, they called nocturnal animals. Called what? Nocturnal animals. The body system that controls all body functions and nerves are part of it. أنا بقول control ونerves يبقى nervous system. برافو. A bird that can turn its head 180 degrees backwards and has a bowl-shaped head with large eyes. Owl. Owl. Type, give reasons why dolphins can hear different types of sounds. Because it has sharp sense of hearing. Because it has what? Sharp sense of hearing and use echolocation property. Animals that live in hot places become active at night. Why? To avoid the high temperature, and also brays are active at night. To avoid the high temperature, and also brays are active at night, so they can hunt them at night. Nervous system consists of brain, spinal cord, and of course nerves. The property that enables bats to locate their prey is echolocation. Echolocation. Give reason. The Egyptian mongoose make sounds to communicate with other mongooses. What happens if owls don't have large ears? It cannot hear the sounds of tiny insects and cannot hunt. Type, mention the function of the brain in the human body. It controls all the human body, or it translates information to send signals to all body parts. It is the main control center inside your body, and also it translates information to send signals to all your body parts. Examples of nocturnal animals, we have here snake, we have owl, we have bats. Type, the main control unit, the main control center, أظن حفظناها, brain. Bats can locate their prey in the dark because they use echolocation property. Because they have sharp sense of hearing and use echolocation property. Nerves are not part of the human body. What will happen? So the brain cannot send messages. So the body organs don't receive signals from the brain, so there are no response. Mention one function of the spinal cord. Spinal cords send messages from the brain to all nerves inside your body and vice versa. Among the organisms that have the ability to locate their prey by echolocation, we said before dolphins and bats. Top nerves that connect directly to the brain. Spinal cord. Animals that live in hot areas and are active at night. Nocturnal animals. طب هو هنا مش بيقولي scientific term، هو بيقولي give reason why. To avoid the high temperature, and some preys are active at night, so they can hunt them. Animals cannot locate their prey. What will happen? They cannot hunt their prey and they will die. Mention one function of nerves in the human body. They carry messages from the brain to the spinal cord and the other parts of the body and vice versa. Thank you for watching and listening. شكرا ان انتوا كملتوا الفيديو للآخر. بالتوفيق. باي باي.